Our guest today is LP, born Laura Pergolesi. She has put out albums on her own and has been signed to major labels, Island, Def Jam, and Warner Brothers, a couple of them. But she had far more success writing for others, people like Rihanna, Christina Aguilera, and the Backstreet Boys, than on her own so far. Well, that seems to be changing with her Death Valley EP. Her song Lost on You became a #1 hit in Greece, France, and several other European countries. It's the title track of her forthcoming album, should be out next month. She'll play it today, and if you haven't heard it, you will understand the buzz. We'll talk with LP in a moment after the song Muddy Waters.
Searching, tempting, all the steps to follow closer right behind. Is it only when you feel the pot is empty that it's gnawing out the corners of your mind? I will ask you for mercy, I will come to you blind. What you'll see is the worst me, not the last of my kind. Why we choose the fire pathway, but the end is not the way that we had planned. All the spirits gather around like it's our last day. To get across, you know we'll have to raise the sand. I will ask you for mercy, but I will come to you blind. What you'll see is the worst me, not the last of my kind.
That is Muddy Waters. That is the song that begins the Death Valley EP from LP, who is our guest today. And this great band who are new to the U.S. right now because they've been having such incredible success in Europe, and it's good to see you. Can we start at the beginning with your career? Because I just think the whole thing is freaking fascinating. And
Petri dish.
if you ever wonder how music gets out there today, just check out what's been happening with LP's music. You're originally from Long Island, right? Mm-hmm. And did you move into the city to make music, or how did?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I was we were originally from Brooklyn and then moved to Long Island when I was really young, and I would always go into Manhattan, all the time, just because that just felt like the place, the source. And so yeah, then I moved there when I was late teens, and not really sure what to do. I was very kind of clueless about the music business in general. Kind of grew up in a more academic family, but then decided, my mother passed away, and I decided I wanted to search a little more for meaning. So I did in New York, and I didn't really, just kind of struggling with some bands and stuff, and not, whatever, doing the do, playing some shows and rocking it on, all the dives and just experimenting with songwriting, which I had no idea where to go with that. It was like, there is not a school for that. I mean, there is, but
it's your record
didn't go
player.
to it. Yeah, exactly. It's your spare time. But, I felt it just kept calling me in a way. And I was fascinated by, as much as I'm a singer, the songwriting thing is like my job, I think,
And you were writing for yourself at first, but then how did writing for other people come in? Was that later?
That was kind of weird, because I felt like the irony is that, like, I think I couldn't find the song for myself. You know what I mean? Like, my songs weren't quote unquote good enough to, like, either get me going or the right vehicle for me. You know what I mean? I think one of the things about my sound and stuff is that it's I find myself saying this a lot lately, because people say, like, well, what's your, what kind of music is it? And I don't really know. There's a lot of things that I draw on that I feel like it's not some kind of lofty thing about, like, I couldn't classify, like, it's just like kind of, I don't really know, because there's a lot of different things, and that was the hard part of finding my sound, and so I wrote my first major label deal. I got in the system in like 2006 to 2009, and it didn't yield any fruit. There was no record that came out, but I wrote in the range of like 130, 140 songs.
Wow.
So, and one of those got picked up by the Backstreet Boys, and it kind of started it's like a watershed moment of sorts, where I felt like, oh, I didn't picture that or know that could happen, really. I mean, I knew it happened, but I didn't picture that for myself. And then I got a publishing deal in 2009, and I just kind of was like, oh, that's cool. I'll just be a songwriter. I don't have to worry about who thinks I look good or who thinks it's, like, good for me or whatever. I'll just, like, go hard. And I just started writing songs constantly, like a few a week, every week for years. And then I started getting bigger cuts. And then, oddly, it brought me back around to myself.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like, I just, I got some management that wanted to rep me as a songwriter, but was like, kind of like, why don't, are you sure you're done with your actual singing career? And I was like, I don't know. And then I think their enthusiasm bolstered my confidence, and I started writing, like Into the Wild and stuff like that. And then by the end of the year, I was signed to Warner Brothers again as an artist, which was interesting. In 2011.
You mentioned Into the Wild, which was a song that got you some notice. I mean, people will hear this song and they'll say, "Oh, I know that," and they know that from their television. So there's so many ways.
Yeah, I
your
realize
music
the power of TV. You never know. Like, that commercial did so much for me, and it would be funny when people will ask me, like, do you feel like you sold out? I was like, get the hell out of my face. I don't. Yes, I do. I sold, come on.
You know my song and I sold out? No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
It's like, it's just the way the world works now. It's like, that's the platform that gets the most notice. It's kind of unbelievable that it has such reach when, a lot of people have satellited off to their computers and doing things whenever the hell they want. It's just a different world. And I think, the best part of, like, I believe in technology and moving on, and Into the Wild is in fact about that, and I think, you could stay classic and move forward into the new.
Yeah, explain that a little bit more about what Into the Wild is about.
Into the Wild is kind of about, are we losing our souls with the runaway train of technology, and how are we getting further apart, or is it bringing us closer together? And I don't think we really know the ramifications of that just yet.
Amen to that. This is LP, and this is Into the Wild.
Yes.
Are we on the lonely side? Say, whoa, now the past long way. And are we so lost in the dark of our hearts? Oh, now there's no light of day. No, I want to be both. Somebody left the gate open. You know we got lost somewhere. Come save us and run the train. Come and say, hey, hey, how do we not pay? How do we not pay? How do we not into the world? How we live into the world? How we live Please believe me, I'm more scared than not. That whoa, now this isn't the way. And please be there gladly hang on. But whoa, now I'm waiting, I pray. Yeah, somebody left the gate open. You know we got lost somewhere. Come save us and run the train. Come and say, hey, hey, how do we not pay? How do we not pay? How do we not pay? How do we into the world? How we live into the world? How we live into the world? How we live into the
LP is our guest today, and yes, she whistles as well. That is Into the Wild. Going back an album for her. She's got a new EP out now called Death Valley, which is going to be expanded, right? We're getting a full length?
Yeah, that's coming out in March.
Excellent.
Actually, I don't know, May maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a few songs, a couple songs off the EP, and then a bunch of new ones.
Cool.
Yeah, some that are out in Europe already, and a couple others.
Let's talk a little bit about Europe, because I think people think the music business is like a monolith. You know, it's like something happens here and something happens there. And your situation with this EP, which came out in June or so,
Yeah.
Is that that's not true. You had an amazing kind of thing happen.
Yeah.
And I which is that this one of the songs on this became a huge hit, starting in Greece and then spreading everywhere. How did that feel for you? Did you, you know?
It felt amazing. I mean, it was so interesting because, again, like you said, it had been out for months here. And, it had a little like floater on Hype Machine, a little number 6 on Viral Top 50. Again, I was on a indie label, so I wasn't, expecting like a big push or money behind anything. Around January of 2016, I got a direct message on Instagram, which I had just started checking them because I had missed something. I'd missed a show offer or something like that someone had contacted me through that, and I was like, oh man, I got to start checking these. So I did. And a guy, Panagiotis, his name is, from a label called Cobalt in Greece. It's with a C, and there's a Cobalt here, very prestigious, with a K.
Right? Yeah.
And so I wasn't even thinking about the letter. I was just like, oh, Cobalt in Greece, interesting. Like, I'll check this out, So I click on it, and he's just like asking about my material, and he said he tried to contact the label, but he didn't, didn't get a call back. Could he trouble me for my info, like with my managers and my publisher? And I was like, sure, and I totally forgot about it because I thought it was a film, TV kind of thing. And then the next thing I know, they're like licensing the record. And as much experience as I have, I didn't really understand that whole concept of licensing the record from a label to put it out somewhere else in a different territory.
Like Vagrant would not necessarily have a deal with Europe.
Right, yeah. And even Vagrant's under BMG. And so BMG had to allow them to do it, and they were like, actually fine, like we're not doing anything with this right now, we're not putting a big push behind it. So the next thing I know, a few months later, I'm hearing like it's charting. I'm like, oh, charting, like what does that even mean? They had put it out on iTunes and were playing it on the radio, and it went to number 1 there and stayed there for like 7 months or more, and it's gone like multi-platinum there, and then my other song, Other People, actually went number 1 recently too there, and then it spread very, Lost on You, that's the song we're talking about though, that Italy, who also say that they discovered it themselves, not from Greece, they also licensed the record on another label, and then France like followed suit again, and that's, once you hit France, you're kind of getting into like, like good, like percolating kind of territory, and but I think when France started asking for it, BMG was like, wait, what's going on here? I mean, I'm on Elektra in France, so I'm on like several labels in Europe, and it just kept spreading and spreading, and it's been number 1 in like, I think like almost 20 territories or something like that, and it's gone gold and platinum in a bunch of places, and it's just interesting. I'm like, with all the experience I have of my own self and of other artists that I work with as a songwriter, it's been the most interesting thing I've seen, to be honest.
I would think so. And so you go over to Greece and you play a show. What's that like?
Yeah, it was like a sold out 4,500 people in Athens in like a square, and people going nuts.
That's great.
Thessaloniki as well.
I'm just thinking that artists out there who feel like they're not getting anywhere. Come on, hold on. It may happen in some major way. You mentioned maybe wanting to do something that's going to be on the album when it comes out later, but could you do Lost on You so people know what we're talking about?
Of course. Yeah, let's do it.
Will you remember all the danger we came from? Burning like embers, falling tender, longing for the days of no surrender years ago. And will you know? So smoke 'em if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down. All I ever wanted was you. I'll never get to heaven 'cause I don't know how. Let's raise a glass or two to all the things I've lost on you. Oh, tell me I've been lost on you. Oh, just that you could cut me loose. like you never lost your patience. Tell me that you love me more than hate me all the time. But you're still mine. So smoke 'em if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down. And all I ever wanted was you. Let's take a drink of heaven, this can turn around. Let's raise our glass or two to all the things I've lost on you. Oh, tell me are they lost on you? Oh, just think you could cut me loose. Oh, after everything I've lost on you, is that lost on you? Oh, 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 is that lost on you? Baby, is that lost on you? Is that lost on you? Let's raise our glass or two to all the things I've lost on you. Oh, tell me are they lost on you? Oh, just think you could cut me loose. Oh, everything I've lost on you. Is that lost on you? Is that lost on you?
Lost on You, LP live in the World Cafe studio today, and that's another one from the Death Valley EP. You kind of figure you were not in a great place in your life when you were writing this.
Yeah.
Well, what was going on? There's a lot of songs about, I don't know if you want to call it breakup songs, but
Yeah, I mean, I was in a difficult time, both personally and professionally. You know, it was the summer of 2014, and my relationship with my girlfriend then at the time was just not feeling right. You know, and I was feeling like I didn't know what was happening with it, like both places. And professionally, also, I was, you know, the record had taken too long to come out. Warner Brothers, like, kind of, you know, was, we just timing-wise were not, like, in sync. And I kind of knew that the record was not going to get pushed, and all the personnel had changed. You know, it was like classic stuff. And so I was kind of like, you know, pretty desolate emotionally for a while, but I felt very in tune to like my actual feelings, so that was cool. And you know, Lost on You was just like born of that kind of darkness and kind of I didn't know where I was, to be honest.
yeah.
Muddy waters as well. So yeah.
You know, hearing you sing, I'm scratching my head that you ever thought that you would just be a songwriter. You're such a natural performer.
Thanks.
And I should tell people who've not seen a video yet, all 10 of you, that LP is this voice comes out of like Prince's body with Mark Bolan's hair on top, and I just realized that androgyny is a rock and roll look.
Yeah, I mean,
for
Prince
everybody.
didn't get a lot of. I don't think people talked about how androgynous Prince was. It kind of like, I don't even really think I thought of it as much because he had such a interesting brand of it.
Right.
I'm a big fan of different people's styles of it, you know, and it's really cool when someone does it so uniquely. And Prince was definitely, he had us all fooled. He was like, you know, I mean, that guy was wearing like, you know, 2-inch heels all the time and like kind of like scooting around, like, and he was just so feline.
Yeah.
And but he was also very masculine, and you know, it was cool.
Was this your look before you were performing, or is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always like messed with it, you know,
Yeah.
and I think I've just like dialed it in and just like kind of played with it myself, you know. I mean, I think my changes in my look are not as wildly like across the board as like someone like David Bowie or something like that. I just kind of, I've always looked sort of the same, and I dial it in and out a little bit,
Right.
a little smaller dial.
Well, that makes sense. So can we hear one of these new songs that's
Yeah, sure.
coming out?
I'll play the song It's called Tightrope, and it's one of the new. This is one of the songs that of me coming out of that haze of only breakup songs. This is kind of just a life song, love song that's about will you make it? And does it matter really?
Hold on, I know you're scared, but you're so close to heaven. Eyes shut tight. Just pretend you're like a feather. Roll on the clouds together, but don't look down, not ever. Don't ask why. Just look out into forever. All this time, you've been trying not to lose it. You can always learn to fly. You never do until you do it. Walk right in the middle of nowhere. Don't know what you know when you get there. Walk slow and low and tightrope. Hold your hands like you know, you never know. Take a chance with your dance up and beat air. It's so good up to down, but I don't care. Walk slow and low and tightrope. Hold your hands but you know, you never know. You never know. We're just a step from fearless. Reach out for me, my dearest. Don't you cry. You don't know you're almost near it. All this time, you're just trying not to lose it. You can always learn to fly. You never do until you do it. Walk right in the middle of nowhere. Don't know what you know when you get there. Walk slow and low and tightrope. I'll be last but you know, you never know. Take a chance with your dance on the beat air. I feel so good up the door, but I don't care. Walk slow and low and tightrope. I'll be last but you know, you never know. Oh, you never know. You never know. But you know when you get there, walk slow and low on a tightrope. Hope it lasts, but you know you never know. Take a chance with your dance up and beat air. I feel so good up to die, but I don't care. Walk slow and low on a tightrope. Hope it lasts, but you know you never know. Up high in the middle of nowhere. Don't know, but you know when you get there. Walk slow and low on a tightrope. Hope it lasts, but you know you never know. You never know. You never know. You never know. You never know.
Tightrope, something new from LP, finishing up our session today. Great to meet you. Thanks a lot for
You too.
coming
Thank you so much.
in. LP, our guest. We'll be back in a moment here on the World Cafe.